get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids in there. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids in there. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.
Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. Tonight, I'm not drinking on anything really. I'm just drinking on some strawberry melon brisk iced tea. I'm just taking it easy tonight, man. Hope you guys are having a great week. I hope you guys are have a great weekend. We got a couple of topics that we want to get into right now. So we're gonna go ahead and start with this. All right. Uh Rap beefs. Rap beefs is nothing new. Uh I mean we have some iconic beefs, things like that in rap. Uh but the latest one I should say, Drake, Kendrick Lamar. Um let's just be honest about this. We all know. Well, I'm gonna give y'all my opinion real quick. Um, Kendrick Lamar basically won this beef. Um, the Not Like Us diss track that he did. I mean that was pretty much game set match. I don't think even even if Drake does respond to it's really nothing you can do about that, right? Now this beef here, has been talked about um for a little minute now. Obviously, Kendrick lyrically, strategically, um, have won this battle, in my opinion, and as he should. A lot of true uh rap fans, right, who was into the lyricism, into the delivery, and everything like that. You know, Kendrick's their guy. You know, for me, out of the two, which artists I like just in general is Kendrick Lamar. It's just me, okay? Um, Not saying Drake is not a great artist because he's a great artist, but when you're talking about somebody who, um, I guess epitomizes the genre, is Kendrick Lamar, in my opinion. To me, Drake is more of a pop artist. That's just my opinion. He's more of a pop artist. Um, and here's the thing, though. This is the thing I would say about Drake. And I know a lot of fans who probably don't really go back to listen to old songs in the genre, artists from the West Coast, East Coast, down south, even the Midwest, you know. What Drake has done, absolutely amazing, right? Not taking away anything from his success or anything like that. But for me, the one thing that I've noticed about Drake, you know, he took all right, if y'all go back to like the early 2000s, right? Y'all remember when Ja Rule was pretty much at the top of the rap game, right? He was on top of the rap game, and then and yeah, I think he was doing a lot. He was basically doing like the R&B music with the rap sound, if that makes sense, right? Um, in a sense, pretty much was making pop records back then, right? Drake basically took that and did it on a bigger scale. I would say this to me, you know, I would go back and listen to a Ja Rule song before I listen to a Drake song. It's just me. Now, if we're talking about in real time, of course you're gonna listen to a Drake song. Now, if he comes out with something new right now, um, I would listen to it, stuff like that. Um, but to me, Kendrick is a guy that I could like listen to all day, right? Um, Kendrick has his sound. You know, Kendrick to me is a better rapper. Because I believe he's a better lyricist, he's a better storyteller. He has all the tools that somebody who's a fan of the genre is looking for, right? I'm not saying you can't make pop records, right? Music is subjective anyway, right? Um, just like anything else, entertainment is subjective. But with this beef here, it comes out to show you that it's just not Kendrick Lamar. You got other artists and shoot other producers who had some type of beef with Drake. Uh, could it be arrogance? More than likely, when you're on that level, you feel a certain way about yourself, right? Um, and at that point, somebody's gonna have to be the person to kind of bring you down a notch. And Kendrick was that guy. Um, you know, a lot of people hate on Drake. Uh, when listen, everybody's gonna have some type of haters. All right, that's just how the game goes, regardless of what industry that you're in. A lot of people gonna hate. You know what I'm saying? But as great as Drake is, right? He's great for putting that. He understands today's modern music, right? In terms of um, he he's always paying attention of what's trendy. To me, I really appreciate Kendrick Lamar because I think Kendrick Lamar to me, uh, I think he's all about the quality of his music, right? I don't think he's necessarily looking to like consistently like all the time just putting out music, right? And not only that, but when Kendrick Lamar gets if he his style is his style. At times you saw Drake get on other people's records and take their whole style, their whole flow, right? Um, Ebro said something very interesting. He asked a question, what is Drake's sound, right? What is the Toronto sound? Because that's where Drake is from. Toronto. What is his sound? We know Kendrick's sound, right? A lot of artists, they have their own sound. Kendrick Lamar, Drake, not Drake, Future, J. Cole, right? Um, even like old school artists, right? They have this thing where you can't do what the next artist is doing. You gotta do your own thing. So to me, this beef, what it really exposed was how when you could be great at something, like you could be up here, doesn't necessarily mean you're the best at it. You know what I mean? Like, do we consider Drake the best lyricist in hip hop? No, right? Nope. I mean, you got to be. A casual fan probably won't understand it, right? Somebody who doesn't listen to the genre like that, um, who's probably a fan of say rock or pop, stuff like that, that will come in and like, oh, Drake is like the best out there. But then you'll have those saying, no, lyrically, from a lyricist standpoint, he's not the best. There's a couple of guys that people would rather listen to, right? They would listen to a Kendrick Lamar. They would rather listen to a J. Cole, right? So it is it's crazy to me. Um, with it's not really crazy because like I said, rap beefs is nothing new. Um, it's nothing new. Some beefs were you know lopsided than others, I should say, and some had a great, it was a great a battle. This was actually a great battle. I'm not saying that Drake didn't hold up his end, but it came Kendrick Lamar strategically, strategically, he and lyrically, he pretty much showed the hip hop world, or the rap community already knew, but pretty much showed that other everybody else, like, hey, this is what this really is all about, right? So, um, by the end of the day, Kendrick Lamar won this battle. Um, you know, I, I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Drake been in a couple of beats before. Uh, Meek Mill, he won that battle with Meek Mill. I'm not gonna. He did that. I think Meek Mill made a strategic error, in not responding to Drake in a timely manner. Thus, you got the back to back disc, which I mean, listen, when it first came out, I mean, I heard it as soon as it came out, and I was like, well, there it is. Drake is the winner. Even though when Meek Mill responded, it was like it's not the same. The knockout punch already happened. Pusha T, Pusha T obviously won that battle. It goes to show you somebody who actually studies the craft, who carefully constructs their art. And to me, Kendrick Lamar is that guy, right? So, Kendrick Lamar, if you have a difference of opinion who won this battle, um, you know, comment below, tell me who you think really won. Uh, but in my opinion, Kendrick absolutely won this battle. And I think to me, he kind of like put the world on notice, right? Um, every king will be dethroned at some point. And I think to me, to me, I never really looked at Drake as the king of hip hop or like the best hip hop artist. I know some people believe Drake is the greatest of all time. I can't really do that because to me, I don't when I say the greatest artist, I mean the greatest hip hop artist of all time. I can't really say that because I've always said Drake is more of a pop artist more so than um, a rap artist. Okay, so that's just my personal opinion on all of it. So comment below, man. Y'all let me know uh, how y'all feel about that. Um, again, it's subjective, right? So if you believe Drake won, hey, if you truly support Drake like that, and some people are gonna be biased regardless, right? And you got a lot of people who are not truly objective when they see things like this, right? You can support somebody to a point where no matter what has happened, you believe they won. Just like in politics, right? you're so biased to a party, you don't believe everything they've done is absolutely correct without really pointing out the flaws and everything like that. All the time you do that is when you try to go against in the primaries. Y'all going head to head. So I mean, let's just be honest. Don't really think objectively because they're um so in tune to that that artist, that side of politics. It's just all crazy, man. Think for yourself. That's all I'm saying. Think for yourself. Okay. All right, y'all. Uh, let's get into the next topic. Uh, this time I'm gonna start off with this next topic. Start off with a question. Uh, if you are expecting a child, right? If you are expecting a child and you are a professional athlete, should you, and let's just say you had a game that day, that night, right? Your child is born. Well, you go to the hospital. You go to the hospital, you witness the birth of your child, especially your first child. Are you obligated to go back and play a game later that day? Or should you stay just for that one day and then leave the next day? Why am I bringing this up? Well, uh, another big topic, this in the sports world, um, Rudy Gobert. Uh, Rudy Gobert, he he became the father for the first time. And he was at the hospital, witnessed the birth of his child. Um, he ended up missing game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals against the Denver Nuggets, which, by the way, his team won by 30. Just a little side note. So the Timberwolves up 2-0 going back to Minnesota. And it's crazy to me because you got some athletes out there who was saying that he shouldn't have done it, right? He shouldn't have missed the game. Uh, they said, "Hey, the baby will be there when he gets back." I'm talking about Gil Arenas, right? Um, he's the type of guy, who just talks crazy at times. I don't think he really makes, he makes some solid points, but most of the time, you like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? Um, I think a lot of it is just it's clickbait stuff, and things like that. So him, and I'm also going to say Brandon Jennings and pretty much everybody else who was on that show, basically didn't like that Rudy Gobert missed one game. Ain't like he missed an entire series. He missed one game for the birth of his child. Um, in Rudy's defense, he actually tried to get to the game, but uh, flights were pretty much canceled based because of weather. So he uh, he really tried to get to the game. So um, he wanted to be there. But by the end of the day, he's a father for the first time. Anybody who's been a father for the first time will understand this. Even though, even though your child is okay, the mother's okay, you still like, hey, this is the first time. I'm still gonna say, even for one day, I'm just to really make sure that everything is straight because we don't. Anything can happen. No complications after birth can happen. So you just want to make sure that everything is straight. Um, but Gil Arenas basically said, "Hey, that baby will be there when you get back," right? Which is to me, it's I always say this, right? There's more to the game of whatever sport you play. There's more to the game. There's more to life than just the game you play. So if Rudy Gobert, who's experiencing being a father for the first time, we don't know the communication between him, the Timberwolves. They already knew this. They knew, hey, this could happen possibly at any time, stuff like that. Uh, and you know, I guess the coaching staff, players are like, hey man, we got this. Go be with your baby. We'll take care of this. We already got the first game, so we already in great position going back home. And besides, they did win game two, so you went up 2-0 going back home makes you in a better position, right? You got the champs frustrated and everything. You got uh, Anthony Edwards, who's going to be, he pretty much could be the face of the league, MVP within the next, what, season or two, right? Then you also have Carl Anthony Towns. You got a great defensive team. You got veterans like Mike Conley and all of them. You got a team that you could say, hey, they possibly the way they're playing right now, possibly this team could take it all this playoffs. And uh, for a an athlete to only look at it from a basketball standpoint. Now, I understand if this was the Super Bowl, I would understand. Like if you're a football player, listen, it's a Sunday. We've seen baseball players, we've seen football players leave a game because their wives or their fiancés went into labor, so they rushed to it. Absolutely, right? Pretty much game is over with. You just go be there, right? Now, Rudy Gobert's baby was born early in the morning. He was there, tried to take a flight out. Again, couldn't make it. Um, but it goes to show you the priorities a lot of these men take. Because if you take a regular guy would have he pretty much would have spent the entire day at the hospital. Not even go home. He's there, right? Um, and for Gilbert Arenas to actually make the statement he made, to me, it makes him look bad, and everybody else on his platform, it make them look bad because is the baby and the mother truly okay while they're in that hospital? To me, they're truly okay the moment we leave the hospital. You get what I'm saying? Um, I heard Shannon Sharp basically saying, Shannon Sharp, he has a great mind, great insight, but he also said maybe you need to plan a little bit better, have that baby more in the summertime than around the springtime, right, where the playoffs is going. And I'm saying to myself, well, it's different from football than basketball because football you only play once a week, maybe twice a week if you have to play on a Thursday night. And we all know that in the NFL season, it's basically like the playoffs because every game matters, right? Now, obviously, Rudy Gobert had his child during the playoffs. Is one game, and the fact that you have a lot of these athletes not on his side, one game, it goes to show you how. Now, if we know if he's not there, his team is going to suffer drastically. You might make the argument, but he's on Minnesota. That team, do they need Rudy Gobert? Yes, they do. But they also know how to play when he's not there. That's why it showed in game two. Um, but to make the statement, oh, baby will be there when you get back. How would you know? Anything could happen. A man who's becoming a father for the first time, excited, like, oh, he's a father for the first time. He wants to, really hold that baby, making sure everything is straight. Hey, listen, again, he tried to get back to the game. He couldn't get it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they missed that point. They missed that point. But it goes to show you a lot of times priorities are messed up. The game of basketball or in the game of baseball, football, whatever, it's like this. This is the window you have. This is the window that you have in terms of being a professional athlete. Being a father, having those type of moments in your life lasts forever, right? So, a lot of these athletes have to understand you got to get your priorities straight. If you honestly feel like that, then don't have kids. If you're gonna feel like that, you see what I'm saying? Because what's going through your mind, don't make sense. I know a lot of players don't. They're not missing the game for anything, right? You had a Derek Fisher whose child was going through. I forgot what his child was going through. I forgot, but he was playing in Utah at this time, and he would show up at the second half of the games, right? Now we must say this: those games happen in Utah. They happen in Utah, right? So let's just say now let's flip it, right? Let's say the first two games happen in um Minnesota. Gave birth, he already there. He could go straight from the hospital to the game, but he had to fly to Minnesota to witness the birth of his child, right? Then we all know there's some risk involved, right? They saying, well, can he, neighboring cities, could he fly in there? There was probably so much bad weather in Minnesota that he couldn't fly anywhere. You know what I mean? So, um, and here's the thing: if you're gonna say, you know, if you're gonna say, if you got sources, right? And I know a lot of people don't want to give up their sources and everything, but if you really think you got sources and basically saying, oh, there's some people in there who weren't happy about the decision, tell them who they are. Because if it's the players, then you know they could settle that like grown men. If it's the coaching staff, then look, we can settle this like grown men, right? If it's somebody in the front office, then they got an issue. See what I'm saying? Because there's you also have to understand how great your team is, right? The Minnesota Timberwolves is a great team right now. They a legit chance. They have a legit chance not only to knock off the defending champions, but also win the championship themselves. If they get past the Denver Nuggets, right? If they get past the Denver Nuggets, in my opinion, it's going to be Minnesota versus Boston in the NBA Finals. My honest opinion, right? Which will be a great matchup to see. At the same time, you have to understand that I mean, listen, know the situation. If they were down 0-1, I will understand, like, all right, I'm going to go there. As soon as that, I'm going to fly right back. So we got to win this game. You already took care of business the first game. That's why shout out to Jeff Teague and his podcast because, you know, the mindset they have right. It's like they already did what they're supposed to do in game one. And the fact that they won game two, you got people criticizing for going to a game. You got these athletes who don't understand. Listen, things can happen after childbirth. So, go be with your family. A lot of people out there, they don't have that's why this whole world is messed up because their priorities is messed up. You see what I'm saying? And for Gil and Brandon Jennings for them to basically make the statements that they made, come on, man. Come on. A first time father, let that man enjoy that one day. You know, if you already have kids already, cool, right? After that, then you can make the argument. Let that man enjoy being a father for the first time. He got a great team. They got his back. They probably already communicated with him. We don't know everything behind the scenes. And if you got sources, spit it out. Shoot, say who it was. I hate when people put that in an argument and yeah, you don't say who said it. It's just my thing, man. You can say a lot of stupid shit, but it's just I don't know, man. It's just stupid. To me, it's just very stupid to make the statements that you made. And maybe your priorities might be messed up more so than anything else. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Um, Basically, this is his statement. Just from Gil. And I quote, "It's a baby, bro. It's gonna be there when you get back. We hope." When you make that statement, you said "we hope." Already, I could tell your mind is fucked up already. It's already because that doesn't even make any sense to me. Why would you even make a statement like that? Why would you even make a statement on that? Um, I'm just saying, I quote, "The baby, whatever you think you about to do, he's going to be asleep." Dude, dude, come on, man. I don't know what else to say. That you know, so you mean to tell me you gonna put your team before your? This is why a lot of guys are single. Oh, listen, you got a career, I get it, and when you talking about you gonna miss, your team needs you more than a woman who's giving birth to your child. Are you serious? Who thinks like that? You know what I mean? Um, what else did he tweeted? Rudy missing playoff games for a baby. Yeah, so I don't understand the logic. Um, you know, and he also won Defensive Player of the Year, which could be a whole totally different conversation. I don't think he should have won. In my opinion, I think Victor Wembanyama should have won Defensive Player of the Year. But it just goes to show you that a lot of people's mindset is more messed up than usual, and that's what I got to say about that. And if you know Gilbert Arenas want to come on this podcast and discuss it, so be it. But it's you know don't get exposed. That's all I'm saying. Don't get out here saying some stupid shit like that, trying to criticize a guy who missed a game for a baby. You mean to tell me you ain't got what they got 15 players on the team, right? 15 players on the team. You mean to tell me that those other 14 guys can't step up, which they did step up? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Dude, get it right. Get it right. Cause it is not fair to and you gotta think, it's not like here's a top scorer, right? To me, was he the best defender in the league? No. I mean, obviously, Wembanyama impact was way greater than Rudy Gobert. But, um, but it goes to show you how great this team really is. You still had Anthony Edwards. You still had Carl Anthony Towns. And again, in his defense, he tried to get back. He tried to get back. To me, that shows me everything. Like he still tried to get back. Like, you know what? We got this, man. We go enjoy being the father for a day, man. Then come back. We good. That's what a real teammate would have said. And again, we don't know what said, but I'm pretty sure they probably had his back too. I'm pretty sure the coaching staff had his back too. So any there's guys out here who work regular jobs, right? That would take a day off to go spend with their child. Then they're back to work the next day. So that's all I'm saying. That was just that statement was stupid and it was wrong on so many levels. I don't get it. I do not get it. All right, y'all, man. Appreciate you guys taking the time out for tuning in with me, man. Again, make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, y'all make sure y'all hit and like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. New episodes uploaded every week, man. YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Tell your friends and family. Any ideas of what I should try or drink on this podcast, y'all let me know, man. Hit the comments below. And also, too, man, if y'all have any topics that y'all want me to talk about, I'm gonna try to get some more guests on here to talk about it. So please, man, y'all can message me on all my social media or comment in the comment section. All right. Till next time, I'm Darius from Drinking After Dark Podcast. We out. Peace.